Hi, so today I'm going to be showing you how to do your eyebrows really quickly, really easily, really painlessly if you choose to as well. I'll mention that later in the video for those people that are scared of plucking and tweezing, and I guess that's the same thing, but threading. I used to get my eyebrows threaded and I absolutely love the look of having really sharp, fierce, just super neat eyebrows, but I hated the pain that's associated with that. So this way it's just so much less painful. The way that I do it, there's a tiny bit of plucking involved, but like I said, you can skip the plucking if you use this method, and yeah, that's great. So I will show you what I use first of all. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need, the main magic maker of this video, is a white eyeliner pencil, and this is going to be used to kind of draw on the shape of your eyebrows like a stencil, basically. Mine, I'm using a white pencil by Barry M. It's Kohl and it's number 30. It's just a plain white pencil. You can use any white pencil, it really doesn't matter as long as it's a good quality enough. That I've tested this one already, but you don't want to have to work with it too much just because it won't, it might not draw over the hairs, but this one draws over hairs really well, and like you see, as you can see, I've got really dark hair, so this is great. Love this. Along with that, you're going to need, if you normally fill in your eyebrows, then you're going to want that pencil that you usually use. I am using this one, which I can't see the make of because it's so tiny because I use it so much, but it's great. It was only £1 and it's actually got an eyebrow brush on the end of it, which you're also going to need. So if you don't have one of those, get one of those. I'll put the make and the colour number etc of this particular brush in the bottom bar because it's amazing. Brush slash pencil. You'll need these. Make sure that your pencils are fully sharpened. Ooh, should have done that before the beginning of the video, because if you don't, it's not going to go away. Your eyebrows aren't going to be very neat. They're going to be kind of thick and blocky. You want to get them as precise as you can, so sharpen your pencils before you do this, and every single time you fill in your brows, please. I hate to see people with really thick blocky eyebrows. It hurts me inside. The next thing you're going to want is some type of lubricant. I'm just using jojoba oil because I just have it around, but you can use anything. Vaseline, yeah, Vaseline or oil I would recommend, and that is going to help you with the next item, which is this, and it's a razor, and this is also the other star part of this video and what makes it painless. You're going to be raising your eyebrows. These you can buy, I think they are specifically called eyebrow razors, don't quote me on that, but this thing looking like this you can get from any beauty supply stores, and they're really inexpensive. This one was about £1. So yeah, but you're going to want some type of oil to put over your brows before you use this, just to help it slide and glide, to avoid any redness or puffiness, because I hate that about doing my brows. I hate it. The next compulsory item, if you will, is a cotton bud. I'm going to try and hold this one on the clean side because I just used it for this tutorial, but yeah, you're just going to need a little cotton bud just to clean up any mistakes. Next items are optional, but I've also used in this tutorial concealer, which I'll explain why later, or a light coloured eyeshadow. Anything that you would use as a highlight colour is good. An eyeshadow brush, pencil or shader, up to you. And I'm actually using my MAC MSF Natural, which I forgot to mention in the video, so I'll mention it now quickly. But I sometimes like to put this, just with a large fluffy brush, I like to put this over my brows right at the end of my whole routine, just to help them blend into my face more. Depending on what makeup look I'm doing, my brows are quite dark and sometimes they can look a little harsh, so a little dusting of this over both brows really helps. It just takes them down like one shade and colour and helps them just blend into my face. Anyway, this introduction is too long, so I'll take you to the tutorial. Okay, so as you can probably tell, I'm sure, here's one I did earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other one for you. I just did that one first for speed purposes, nothing crazy about that. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, that I've actually already done when I did this eyebrow, is to prep my eye. I'm going to take that oil and I'm just going to, or Vaseline or whatever you use, and just wipe it just over the eyebrow. And what that's going to do is, when it comes to the razoring step, it's just going to help the razor to glide over the skin. This is one of the reasons why I think it's better to do this tutorial before you do your makeup. I'm wearing makeup now for filming purposes, but I've avoided kind of putting too much around my eye area because when you wipe off the oil, you wipe off the makeup, you're gonna look crazy. So all that being said, the first thing I'm going to take is, the first thing I'm going to take is my brush, and the first thing you really want to do is just brush your eyebrows. The reason is that if your eyebrows are all looking crazy and hair sticking in different directions, and you go and pluck them and shave them according to, you know, the crazy way that they lie, when you do go to brush them, or say one day, you know, they're going to move again, and when they do move again, they're going to look completely different, and it's not going to look neat anymore. But if you brush them, you know, every day, then they're always going to look the same, and you know that you'll be plucking the right hair. So when I'm brushing, I'm just pulling them kind of towards the outside of my face, and then these hairs I do like to manipulate, and I like to brush them down a little bit just to help that bit to look thicker, because if I brush them like this, when I pluck it, there's not going to be as much hair there, and you don't want to over pluck your eyebrows because they don't always grow back. So let's keep our hairs by. I hope that this is in the screen. I'm looking at the mirror as usual, by the way, if you're wondering why does she think we're over there. Okay, so I hope you can see that I'm just brushing outwards for the part that goes up, and then when I get to the arch I'm brushing downwards just to keep everything nice and in line. And this I'll do every single day before I fill in my eyebrows and go into my makeup routine, and that way I know that, like I said, it's going to look the same every day. Okay, so now that's done, we've got our oil on, and we can get to the fun part, which is the drawing, which I really enjoy. For this bit I would recommend, I personally have my computer right there behind the camera, and I would definitely recommend, if you're not too sure of what you like, going online, finding pictures of celebrities or models or just people in general who have eyebrows the shape that you like, and maybe printing it out, or at least getting that image in your mind before you go ahead and do this step, because you're going to really need to kind of know what sort of shape that you're going for. I mean, anything neat in my opinion is good, but so, I don't know, I think eyebrows can really define a face depending on the shape, that, you know, they can just make your whole face look completely different. So it's worth even flicking through a magazine and just looking at her and going, hers look okay, kind of having it out maybe the first couple of times you do this, just so you know where to draw. But I've done it enough times, I think I know what I'm doing. Another thing that I should say is that I heard a guru on here, GC Starry 7, quote somebody else, I'm not sure who, as having said that eyebrows are supposed to be sisters and not twins, meaning that they're supposed to look, you know, similar but not necessarily exactly the same. If you try and fight to get your eyebrows to match up exactly when you're doing this, you're just going to end up over plucking. I keep doing this like I have hair in my face and there's no hair there. It's a really bad habit of mine, ignore me. But yeah, you're going to end up over plucking and looking crazy, so just chill and just try and get them, just focus on getting them both, you know, roughly the same shape. No one is going to stare at you to the extent where they're going to be like, that eyebrow's got one hair more, so don't worry too much. Okay, so my white pencil, I am, like I said, just going to draw the shape that I like. I hope I'm going to stay in the frame for this. I'm going to look in the mirror. And to do this, I personally, obviously it depends on the shape you like. If you want my shape, I'll tell you, I personally start here and I go up. Oh, also, this pencil that I use, the Barry M. Kohl pencil, does draw over the oil, so don't worry about that. Certain pencils might not, so I really recommend this pencil. You can get it at ASOS or ASOS.com, however you pronounce it. They sell Barry M products and they do ship internationally, so check those out for Barry M, because I know it's not available everywhere outside the UK. Anyway, going up just to the width that I want, and then I'm gonna come straight across, and you know, I am trying to follow the shape that's already there, but I'm just gonna eliminate any hairs that are kind of growing outside of that. So going up to the arch, and I do like quite an arch on my brows, not crazy but quite an arch, so up to the arch, and I'm really just following, like I said, the shape that's already there. My eyebrows have just grown out a bit, so I'm neating them up rather than giving myself a whole new style. And then coming down, 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 and I'm going to take that off actually, because I went outside the line. Mistakes are really easy to correct. Take your magic cotton pad, which I've already used, so it's not very clean looking. Oh well, and because you've put the oil on, this should come off pretty easily like that. And then I'm going to actually go over my hair. The idea with this is not to outline your eyebrows, it's actually to go on top of the hairs, because then you want to pluck anything that's not got white on it. So you realise if you go outside of the eyebrows, you're going to end up with your eyebrows being wider than you want them to be, because you're going to like not pluck around them. Do you understand what I mean? I hope you do. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit further in on top of all these hairs that are already there because I like those. Probably leaning way out the frame. And then I'm going to go up underneath into those hairs, up into the arch, and then this is where I want my arch to be. I can see my arch is there, so then I'm going to come down a little bit, and I like quite a little bit of a tip on my eyebrows. I'm going to take it down. And again, it hasn't happened so much here, but sometimes, especially if you haven't sharpened your pencil enough, which you should be doing, this bit can end up too thick, and you know, I like mine to taper off and get quite thin. So again, you can just use this to make it thinner so that when you come to plucking you can get the exact shape that you want, but this actually turned out alright, so I'm going to leave it. Now I'm just going to fill in this area because we know that we want all of this to stay. Stay, 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 stay. It doesn't have to be, like the bits that you're filling in, it doesn't, I mean you don't even have to fill it in because you just want to pluck anything that's outside, unless you like hollowed out eyebrows, then maybe you don't need to fill it in, but I don't know, I'm weird, so I'm doing it. I like wasting time. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a full white eyebrow now. That's all the hair that I want to keep. Anything that's outside of that, you see all these little hairs just poking out the perimeters? They're going. I'm going to get rid of those. So, to do that, like I said, my eyebrows are already all oiled and slicked up. And I'm going to take this razor. I just got this from some random beauty supply store, not so near me. But you can get them from most beauty supply stores. They're really expensive. This is like 99p. Anyway, I'm going to start at the top, and what I'm going to do is use really tiny short strokes, just like this, controlled strokes. And I'm going to just go right to the edge of the white, basically. And what that'll do is when I'm stroking, I'm going to brush off the hair. Why did I do that? I'm going to brush off the hair at the base. You know, like when you're shaving your legs, this is a razor, it's the same as when you shave your legs, so you shave the hair at the base and cut it off, and then the hair will be gone. So to demonstrate, I like to pull my, it's not good to pull really taut your eye area, so don't go crazy, but gentle pulling upwards, and like I said, just short controlled strokes. It might also look like at first you're not doing anything, but that's just because the hairs haven't fallen. When you brush your eyebrows after all of this, all the hairs that you've cut should fall away, and you realise that you are cutting. But as long as you can feel, you should be able to see anyway, that some of the hairs are kind of moving and being dislodged, and you can kind of hear the crunchy cutting noise. Be really careful not to slip, because one slip of this and you're going to lose your whole eyebrow, which is obviously going to suck. I'm just going to turn my mirror around to the magnifying side for this, and I'm going all the way along the top, really going right up to that white line, and I'm going over it quite a few times just to make sure that all the hairs are gone, and I can pretty much see that they're all done. So then I'm just going to angle it this way to go along this edge. It's really easy, really self-explanatory. You can see what I'm doing, can't you? I'm going to come up a bit, she says. And then I'm going to raise it underneath a little bit. I sort of prefer to pluck underneath. I don't know why, I just find it easy. I'm just going to clean my razor off with some tissue. I think because the skin under here is just a little bit more delicate and more squidgy, I find it a little bit more awkward to razor, but I mean, I razor it a bit. For me personally, it's just quicker to pluck it, I don't know. So I'll leave that. I'm going to pluck those, but you can razor those if you wish. And then I'm just going to go in, raise this inner edge, get that really neat. Okay, so now I'm done with the razoring. Take my trusty tweezers. I use flat edge ones, you can use the pointed ones if you want. I actually only use like one point of the flat edged one, so I don't know why I have them, but it's fine. I don't particularly find that the oil makes this whole process any more difficult. I don't think that it makes the ow, pinch myself, the hairs any more difficult to grab, so that's good. I'm literally just going to pluck any hairs now that I can see that are outside of that white area. Okay, and when you're all plucked and you're happy with that, then you are ready to wipe off all of this gunk from your eyebrow. Grab some tissue and get some extra oil on it, and then just wipe away. what I like to do personally as well is when I wipe my eyebrow, I like to just rough it up a little bit, and what that's going to do is just get rid of any of the hairs that might have fallen when you was razoring or plucking tissue on my face, which might have fallen and got caught in the remaining brows. Then you want to take some dry paper and just get rid of any oil so that your normal eyebrow pencil will go on if you choose to fill in your eyebrows at this stage. Depends on how they grow, I guess, and the look that you're desiring. Then you want to take your eyebrow pencil, something in my eye, and just brush in the same way that you did when you initially started this whole process. So for me personally, I'm going straight across this long bit and then at the arch coming down like so, and then I'm going to take the other end of the pencil. Actually, I don't know why I put that down, and I'm basically going to draw back with this normal eyebrow pencil where I had the white, meaning that I'm going to fill in my brows and give myself the desired shape, just because my brows grow a little bit thin right in here, and I want them to come a little bit longer so it matches this brow basically. So I'm just going to do the exact same shape that I did with the other white pencil, and that should give me my perfect eyebrow. And I do this every single morning just because, like I said, my brows grow thin in certain places. You may find that you don't need to do this if you have eyebrows that grow particularly thickly. For example, once you've plucked them and shaped them, you know, you might not need to fill them in, they might not be thin in any areas. I just like this just to fill in, like I said, a few little areas, and I don't know, I just feel like it makes them look super neat and super fair, so I like to do it. So I filled in that area quite nicely now, and then I'm just going to come down this arch and just make it a little longer. I like this pencil because up close it doesn't look you know, very dark or very intense, but from a distance it adds you know, a lot of volume to my eyebrows and looks very natural. You don't want an eyebrow pencil that looks, you know, really as thick and dark and obvious as your brows, because when you are standing up close to somebody you can see each individual hair, and so if you fill in your eyebrows with a pencil that's as thick and dark and heavy as real hairs, it's just going to look weird, because they're going to be like, what's that block underneath your eyebrows? Because they're going to be able to see that there's a block of colour there but there's no individual hairs. So you want something that's a little softer, it's like soft focus, so that you know, even when someone's standing close they can't, you know, really pick out where the colour's coming from. And that's what I like about this colour. It's rubbed off is what it has. I think it's okay, I'm not going to guess, but I'll put it in the bottom bar. I have mentioned it in another video before, maybe a haul video, but I really like it. Brow filling is also another great opportunity to get your eyebrows to match just a little bit more if you found that one grows a bit thinner than the other, or thicker, or if you've made a mistake, and pluck them kind of differently. It's a really, you know, easy quick fix until the next time that you come to do them. Okay, so once you've finished all of that, you can just leave it at this step, but I personally like to go a little bit further to just add to the uber neatness. What I like to do is I like to get an eyeshadow brush. This is a pencil brush, a Sigma. It has a new name now, so I guess I'll put that in the bottom bar, but you can use a pencil brush or a flat shaded brush I've used before as well. And some people like to use eyeshadow. I like to use my concealer, but basically you want something that's a couple shades lighter than your skin to highlight your brow bone, and it's just really going to make your eyebrows stand out and look so much more defined and neat and amazing. So I'm just taking my concealer. This is from Ingot and it's the colour MW102. This is the regular concealer that I use like under my eyes on my face. It's very light for me, but I do use it for highlighting. It's perfect. So if you're NW50 in MAC, then maybe try this shade, I guess. But I'm just dotting a tiny little bit, like a really tiny little bit onto my brush, and then I'm just going to follow the bottom line of my eyebrows basically, just to highlight using really soft strokes, because we don't want a harsh line. We are going to blend it off, so don't worry too much, but you don't want it to be too harsh. And you just want to go along that line like this, and then what you want to do is just take your brush and feather out that line, blend it so it comes Downtown Charlie Brown. This makes this step as well just makes any eyeshadow pop. Again, the contrast just brings out the colours not only of your eyebrows but your eyeshadow if you put shadow on after this. It'll take a couple of seconds to get used to, but it looks amazing, especially if you go ahead and then do eye makeup, which I'm going to do next. Yeah, it really sets off the whole look. It just makes you look so polished and put together. You know when you see those people and you can't put your finger on what it is, but they just look just very polished. I feel like it's tiny little steps like this that really help to do that. You know, having super neat eyebrows and, you know, manicured nails. It's all those tiny little things you can do that really pull your look together and stop you from just being any girl who's wearing maybe a cute fat outfit or something to, you know, just looking like wow and fabulous. Okay, so that was it. I really hope that you liked it. Please press the like button if you did. Comment below, let me know what you thought of it, and maybe any tips or tricks that you have. Feel free to video response how you do your eyebrows, because I'm really interested to, you know, just see different things and maybe learn some new techniques of my own. Please subscribe if you want to see more tutorials like this and hauls. I'm going to start doing some fitness vlogs really soon. I'm going to film a haul actually now, like a fitness haul, and I'm going to film an eye makeup tutorial right now. So subscribe if you want to see those, and thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to see the little view counter going up. It makes me feel really good. Yeah, thank you. Bye.